minasan! Alright, so first up, this is my new hairstyle. I love it. I haven't had my hair done in 2 years, so I'm very excited about that. Alright, but anyway, so I haven't posted in a long time because, like I said, I make a video when I think of something to talk about, and I finally thought about something to talk about. There was a huge ass argument on one of the pages on Facebook. It's called Naruto Today, and it's for anyone who's up to date with the manga. Okay, not the anime, the manga. You've got to be up to date with the manga, or it's like spoiler heaven and you'll hate yourself. Alright, so one of the guys posed a question. Okay, he said, ignore plot. Alright, pretend that plot doesn't exist. Oh, if you're not a Naruto fan, this conversation is a little pointless until you get to the end. Alright, but anyway, so he said throw plot out the window. Why was Sakura paired up with Naruto and Sasuke in Team 7? Alright, because when you think about all the other teams, they were put together because of their types. Alright, how well they would work together as a team at that point. And he said he couldn't understand it because she had immense chakra control, and she would have done better under the tutelage of Kurenai, for example. And I had never actually thought about this. I mean, he made a good point, and then it turned into a huge ass fight where somebody was all, Sakura's useless, and then of course that turned into it was ridiculous. Like, I get so tired of reading those fights, but I'm gonna get to that because that's kind of the point of this whole video. But like I said, getting to that. So when I thought about it, I actually realized that, well, this is my logic. Okay, if you ignore plot, like I said, ignore plot, because we all know that as a plot device, Sakura was put there to be that girl, so to speak. She was the one. Naruto was in love with her, but she was in love with Sasuke. And when Sasuke left, the main reason that Naruto went after him was because Sakura begged him, and so that's kind of how Naruto happened. That's why there's an anime to speak of. Right? So plot device, very important. But why was she put in that team? If you ignore plot and you pretended that that Konoha was a real place, alright? And you're the Hokage. Now you need to decide how you're going to put these teams together. And there's no plot, there's no story, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. You're just looking at stats, at shinobi, and why would you put them together? Why? So when I thought about it, I kind of realized for myself, when you consider, for example, Team Kurenai, alright, we talked about her just now. Her team is actually pretty awesomely complete, because yes, all three of them can be sensory types, but when you look at it differently, you see that, okay, Hinata is in fact the sensory type. Shino is the range type because of his bugs. Yes, he can use his bugs for reconnaissance and sensory and da-da-da-da, but he is a range type. Kiba can use Akamaru and his sense of smell as a sensory type, la-da-da-da-da, but he is OP as hell. When him and Akamaru start fighting, that's it, end of story. He is OP. So they work. Sensory, range, OP. They work. So my thought was, Sasuke, although he hadn't awakened the Sharingan at that point, the Hokage knew that once he awakened his Sharingan, he would have an immense potential for Genjutsu, alright? Then when you look at Naruto, obviously the Hokage knew that Naruto had the Kyuubi inside of him. And because of the Kyuubi's chakra, he would become insanely OP. But then you look at someone like Sakura, as we said before, her chakra control was awesome. But the thing about Sakura is, when you look at all the characters I've mentioned so far, from when they were like born, they knew kind of what their path was, and it's because they all had, their clans, what their clans did. Kiba, all of his clans, they work with their dogs. Shino, the Aburame clan, they all work with bugs. Hinata from the Hyuga clan, they all have the Byakugan, they're sensory types. Sasuke, Sharingan, Uchiha, da-da-da-da-da. And then it comes down to Naruto, and although he wasn't in a clan, he had the Kyuubi chakra, so that kind of directed his path in life. But Sakura, you don't know much about her parents. You don't know if she had a clan jutsu or whatever. You never see anything like that. Do we even know if her parents were shinobi? I have no idea, to be perfectly honest. I haven't thought about it that in depth. So as I say, she didn't have her place yet. So perhaps if the Hokage said, right, I have decided Sakura is going to be an X-type, and so because of that, she needs to learn from Kurenai. or she's going to become brilliant in taijutsu, so we're going to put her with Guy. No, the Hokage can't decide something like that. And in my personal opinion, Kakashi is one of the most versatile shinobi in all of Konoha. He can do just about anything. He was a genius. He became a jonin at age 6. He's got the Sharingan that he got from Obito that makes him insanely powerful. He's the copy ninja. Like I said, he can do just about anything. So I figure the logic was they were looking at potential. Sasuke's potential for Genjutsu, Naruto's potential for OP, and Sakura's potential as, you know, she doesn't know what she's going to do. She has no idea. And the only way for her to learn to harness that skill would be through a versatile ninja. And I think also that their team didn't have a healer. And I don't know, maybe as a Hokage, if I had to be a Hokage looking at these stats or whatever, I would know, because you need to have immense chakra control to be a healer, because if you don't have that chakra control, you could wind up killing someone. So I think that in the eyes of a Hokage, you could look at Sakura and say, this incredibly, insanely good chakra control, she could be a healer. And so, no, Kakashi was not a healer, but I think it was a case of like half and half. Like, she could become a healer and therefore would make an awesome member of Team 7, or she could find a different path through learning from Kakashi, he could use Genjutsu, he could use Taijutsu, he could use Ninjutsu. He was awesome. So learning from Kakashi would create a better path for her. That's what I truly believe. Alright, so that was just kind of me, because I'd never thought about that before, and then my friend brought up this topic, and I was like, ooh, let's think about it, and now I feel really smart. You know, please don't hate. You know, if you have a different opinion, help yourself, comment, discuss it, but please don't hate my opinion. I'm so tired of fights, and honestly, I'm just going to ignore you because I don't believe in arguing. It's freaking stupid. So anyway, back to the point of this whole topic, because, as I said, it turned into a big-ass fight about how useless Sakura was in part 1. Alright, now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I do not like Sakura. Not as a character, per se, like as a plot character, but if she was a real person, we would not be friends. I would not like her. I would want nothing to do with her. But I see her importance as a character. Had she not been there, Naruto wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't be the same story. In fact, it wouldn't even be a story. Sakura was an important part, and perhaps she didn't have a huge purpose in part 1, other than, I'm going to piss off so many people with this, but again, it's an opinion. When you look at her in the beginning, she was weak. But as I said, had she not begged Naruto might have decided on his own to go after Sasuke, but it was Sakura's pleading with him, you know, appealing to that side of him that loves her and loves Sasuke and wants their team to be back together. She pleaded and said, please bring him home. And that was the catalyst. That was what jump-started why Naruto went after Sasuke. So she played a very, very important part in part 1. Maybe she wasn't the strongest kunoichi in part 1, but she played an important part. And then part 2 rolls around and she's been studying from freaking Tsunade, and she's all badass and beating shit up, and she's got like healing abilities. And you know, everybody quotes this whole thing about where was she during the pain fight? She was healing people. And I know one of the guys commented, yeah, but then Pain used the Rinne Tensei and brought everyone back to life. Sakura didn't know he was gonna do that. No one knew he was gonna do that. She wasn't exactly gonna sit there and go, it's alright, Naruto's gonna use talk no jutsu, and then Nagato is gonna become good and then revive everyone. She didn't know that. She was doing her best to revive the shinobi because she thought they were gonna die. She honestly, truly thought that they were gonna die because she didn't know any better. So yes, she couldn't help Naruto. But that doesn't mean that she was being useless. Really, guys? Like, oh, and for all the Hinata haters, okay, I like Hinata. If she were a real person, she would be my friend. Alright? But again, I see her importance as a character. You know, everybody's like, in the anime, she attacked Pain, but in the manga, it didn't even happen. She didn't even lay a hit on him, blah, 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 blah. But she was still trying. You know, she jumped in the line of fire to save Naruto. And that means a hell of a lot to me because that's something I would do. Even if I knew that I could die in the process. If somebody I cared about was in trouble, I would do everything I could to help them. So, and that, yeah, anyway. Again, not the point of this video. So, yeah, so I don't like her as a person, but I see her importance in the overall story, and that's why I can't hate her. I can't hate her as a character because she's important. She plays an important role. Alright, so we've finally come to the point of the video. The point of this video is this. It is so stupid to hate on a character, any character, because no author of, no mangaka, no author of a novel, no comic artist, no nobody that writes any form of literature puts a character into a series with no purpose. Every single character has a purpose. And I don't care if you say, oh, but if that person wasn't there. No, bullshit. If that person wasn't there, the story wouldn't have happened. Simple as that. I mean, somebody said, same guy in this thread that was a complete idiot and so biased. Oh my goodness. Yeah. He said, if you replaced Sakura with a rock, everybody would have been better off. Please tell me you see how stupid that is. Okay? Had Sakura been a rock, Naruto would not have had the drive to go after Sasuke. Because, let's be honest, in my personal opinion, he went after Sasuke because Sasuke was a friend and because he loved Sasuke as a brother, but also because he loved Sakura. And even though he knew that bringing Sasuke back would mean that Sakura would run into his arms, you know, if it were up to her, he didn't care. He loved Sakura so much that he would do anything to see her happy, even if it meant losing her to his best friend. So no, replacing her with a rock would have been nothing. And okay, spoiler alert for anybody that's not up to date with the manga. You know, there's this part where Naruto, the Kyuubi gets pulled out of Naruto by Madara later on in the manga, and we all know, we saw it with Gaara, when a Jinchuriki, when a Jubi is pulled out of a Jinchuriki, no, not a Jubi, what am I saying? When a Biju is pulled out of a Jinchuriki, that Jinchuriki will die. So there's Naruto, and he's dying. And what does Sakura do? She puts all of her chakra into her hand, slices his chest open, puts her hand in his chest, and physically starts beating his heart on her own. She saved his ass. Had she not been there, he would have died. Okay? So, I mean, this is just assuming that the story could have even progressed that far, considering what I just said about her being one of the catalysts for Naruto even going after Sasuke in the first place. Alright, so, assuming the story had even progressed that far, Naruto would have died. Sakura is an important character. And, again, I don't like Sasuke. This is the same thing. If he was a real person, we would not be friends. He's an ass. Do not like him. But, had he not been there would be no Naruto. An important character. I cannot hate him. I cannot wish that he wasn't a part of the anime. Because, without him, there would be no anime to speak of. So the point that I'm actually making is that people that hate on characters are stupid. I'm sorry. And I'm not someone that enjoys insulting people's intelligence. So maybe I won't say they're stupid, but they haven't thought it through properly. You know, they've thought it through from a very biased opinion, instead of looking at the series as a whole. Without that character, there wouldn't be a series. It wouldn't happen. Anyway, that was just kind of my thoughts for the day. I'm sorry, the last video I posted, like, I was in tears and crying and sad, and now I'm all like, woohoo, happy days, talk about anime, life's good. So yeah, I kind of jump around a lot. And I've been in a really good mood lately. You know, the one guy that was part of that big ass fight that had me in tears, he's been really cool and helpful. And you know, my uncle died like 2 weeks back, and you know, he's been really supportive. And we go out. I said to one of our friends while we were standing together, I was like, yeah, no, Squishy and I, we go out like every single night. And he's like, we haven't been out every night. I remember clearly that we went home in the morning. So apparently we don't go out every night. We go out every morning. But as I say, you know, he's been a really great friend and he's been really helpful to me, and he's probably watching this, and I'm so sick of you calling me an acquaintance. You stop that shit right now, because you're Mr. Your family, okay? You're my friend. Fucking deal with it. And to anyone else who's watching, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe if you want to see more. I might start like an anime segment, because I really do enjoy talking about anime and manga. Or maybe I'll just start like a geek segment, and I'll talk about anime and manga and Doctor Who and just all kinds of nerdy stuff. But yeah, so if you have an opinion, different opinion, if you agree with me and you just want to kind of elaborate, you know, whatever floats your boat. Cool beans, and I'll see you in the next video.